Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me for today's session. I want to do a energetic clearing for you and a return to sender. So I want to be clearing out your auric energy. I want to be fluffing your aura, and I want to also explain to you how archons can negatively affect you and what archons are and how they operate and the different types. So first I'm going to be getting some of my clearing energy tools. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far. I'm a shamaness, I'm a medicine woman. I've come to planet to help bring light and truth and love back to planet. I'm a goddess incarnate, and I will be sharing some personal stories from personal attacks that I have personally been targeted with in the session. So right now I'm going to start off by doing some ASMR labradorite crystal tapping. Labradorite is a wonderful crystal with the properties intended of many: protection, spell reversal, curse breaking, banishing unwanted entities, banishing any type of archons, banishing energy vampire spells, banishing energy harvesting. You're probably like, whoa, what is she talking about? So let's talk about archons. Archons can be reptilian. They can be from the shadow people realm. They could be from the Jinn realm. They can be alpha draconians. Archons are everywhere right now, okay? They're in societal norms. They're in the matrix. They're in government agencies, in your children's schools. They're in poison in the foods. There are manipulations and just these darker types of psychological entities that will hook into you, okay, manipulatively, and they will start targeting and attacking you, whether it's attacking you through your psychic channels, through your meridians, your chakras, your open energy centers, even through the astral realms, the astral levels, and also on this 3D realm, which is Mother Earth. Archons can get into your mind and infiltrate you through foods that the government is putting, the reclaimed water plants that I've talked about in some of my videos, to where there's aborted baby parts in there. They're also contaminating the foods in fast food places, the pink slime, whether it's at Chipotle or Moe's or wherever you go, there's going to be an archonic influence from the alpha draconians. And what these entities in these darker, realms will do is they will try to corrupt mankind. And what they will do is they will come for the light workers like you and me. They will come for the healers. They will come and they will condemn you and throw you up on the cross, just like those Abrahamic religions who are really cults try to categorize humans, and so everyone could do one agenda of the New World Order, which is get everyone contained and controlled. So those archonic, those beings, those reptilians in the elite, right? Whether it's the police force or the government agents or guidance counselors at your children's schools or corruptive businessmen, crooked cops, crooked attorneys, okay? Freemasons, okay? They like to control, contort energies, manipulate and abuse, and then they start targeting the ones who are different, the ones who are born with gifts, the ones who are born to heal, the ones who are born to bring truth, light, and love to the planet, to the point where if you're not careful to clear these energies and be aware, because awareness is the first power that you have in your psyche, in your mental, If you are not strong enough in your mind, the archons will come and they will attack you. And what they will do is they will latch on to someone in your inner circle that they know you're supposed to be able to love and trust, and that's how they do it. They get inside that person's head and archonically program that person to see you in a light that is not your truth. So that person turns against you and tries to hurt you and start attacking you, whether it's attacking and defaming your character assassination, attacking your things, coming for you through psychic attacks on the astral levels. So a lot of healers were awakened. We have psychic channels, and they're very much encoded with crystalline DNA activation codes of light and love and higher vibrational frequencies. Archons operate on the lower vibrational planes, the shadows, the darkness, okay? You will not see a light worker, or just say a high priestess of the light, not a dark priestess, but a high priestess. You will not see her going around and condemning, okay, other mortals, okay, and just throwing darkness just on random mortals. If you see a high priestess alchemizing from her darker shadow self, it is because she is throwing back what was thrown to her. She is eliminating the darkness from her world, whether it's her inner world, her outer world, her atmosphere, her energetic environment. She is going to protect herself fiercely, as well as what is hers in her divine goddess birthright, okay? So a true priestess, a true healer, a true witch has both, embodies both light and darkness, okay? And knows when to alchemize which. So the only reason why I say this is because I will use a personal example. I was attacked very badly by archons that got into my bloodline. That was unwarranted. We didn't ask for it. Okay, so somebody appeared many years ago, and I'm talking about like 31 years ago, into my bloodline. He was very much darker. Some will call him Satan. He actually looked like Satan. He had very dark traits, very bad ulterior motives. He lied to the family to get into the family, okay, to the point where he progressed and produced seeds into a dark feminine of the family, okay, and then she reproduced two darker entities of these archons, one of them which is a witch, and when you look at that one, he very much looks like a witch. You could tell he's a very much old world religion, more of a pagan witch, okay? And then the other one has come from the Alpha Draconian reptilian Archonic realms, okay, to which there is much toxic masculinity, control, manipulation. They contort, your character against you. They will try to go to members of your family and badmouth you, and they will try to hide behind the cult of Abrahamic religions, okay, to let me talk more about archons in the Abrahamic religions, whether it's Christianity or Scientology or Mormonism or Seventh-day Adventists, or these types of groups that the archons like to really mask and live a double life through. It's because if you look at these hierarchies of churches, and you really see that they're very manipulative, because they go by a book that they say God wrote, but there's really no proof that he wrote it except through the apostles, right? And who wrote the book? So man, and men unfortunately have demonized certain specific angels, like the original light bearer Lucifer, who was God's son, who was the right hand angel of the seraphim, not only the archangel realm, but the seraphim angels, okay, who are the angels of, yes, music. They are higher ranking than the cherubim, than the archangels. They are also the angels of divine fire, which that is what Lucifer was in charge of. And he knew he had power, and he knew he had gifts, okay? So he went to his father one day, and this is the truth. This is from the ancient texts. This is from the ancient, prior to Mesopotamian, prior to Babylonian times. This is before, BC, before everything, okay? And he was like, I have power and I have gifts. I am your son. Why can't I be revered for my talents and my gifts? And then being a jealous God, the Abrahamic God, got really angry, and he used that anger and that rage to condemn and exile his son Lucifer. Okay? Lucifer was a seraphim angel. He was the angel of fire. Fire is the element of transformation. Fire is the element, it can decree, it can create, it can lash out. It has the power to spread, to control. It has the power to burn everything down to the ground. It also has the power to give birth to your endeavors and your creations. It's a very powerful element, okay? Each element has their own power, just like the light bearer, the light bringer, had his own God abilities, okay? So if the light bearer Lucifer, who is not Satan, okay? Satan is actually his brother. He also is a fallen angel, okay? He's more of the darker aspect, whereas Lucifer is the morning star. He brings the sun, just like sun god Ra in ancient Egypt, okay? He protected the pharaohs, okay? So he was exiled from the heavens, from his own home, okay? And he was casted out, okay? To where his wings were burned down, because he wanted to help mankind with his divine powers of light and truth and ascension. But his father was so jealous that his father put that angry fury and that rage and casted him down with his brothers and sisters, the fallen, okay? So today we're going to be calling our light and our powers and our truth back to us as Lucifer, the light bearer, the light bringer, who is not Satan, who has been demonized for having his own talents, his own God abilities. He is the son of Source, okay? Source got angry, and what these, cults and these Abrahamic religions do is they take those emotions of the ego, rage, anger, hatred, greed, and they put that into the Archonic agenda, also known as the Matrix, okay? And what they do is they also know how to project these lower vibrational, 2D, 3D vibrations, okay? Even these 1D, just singular, lower vibrational parasitic, they're like parasites, they're like worms, right? In the aura, if you're low vibrational, and if you weren't born with a divine light, okay? And if you weren't, even if you're on the spiritual path and you're having several spiritual awakenings and different gods and goddesses come to you, and you are not wrong. You are very validated in your gifts. Trust yourself. Do not let an Archonic parasitic asleep, sheep who runs with the Matrix and hides behind a double life and the Archonic agenda, do not let them condemn you, crucify you, or take your power away, or your light away, or your gifts, or your talents, or your truth. That is who you are. This is where you are created from. The creation, the creatrix of before existence in this universe, okay? I'm not even talking about Genesis. I'm not talking about the beginning. I'm not talking about all of this Archonic, going by the book, going into that 9 to 5 matrix, eating that McDonald's, drinking that Starbucks with aborted baby parts, that pink slime, that they've put all types of things in, these disgusting, chemicals, EMF, radioactive, radiation chemicals in purified water bottles, okay? They're putting things into your water. You cannot trust purified water anymore, okay? You cannot trust spring water, okay? You have to boil everything. You have to soak everything. You have to cook everything and heat it so you can boil these parasites, whether they're energetic, they're in your foods, your water. You have to be very conscious and aware of who you keep around your aura and energy, because the archons, what they like to do is they like to infiltrate. They like to infiltrate into your temples. Okay, so this right here, this is our God and our goddess temple. It is the house to our souls, to our spirits. Okay, we are spiritual beings vibrating on a human plane. We are not humans with a spirit. And this is coming directly from the ancient gods and goddesses. Okay, this is coming from, yes, the light bearer, the light bringer, Lucifer, our beautiful morning star. Okay, he is not what they wrote about in Revelation about the beast, okay, how the world is going to end. This is all fathomed lies. This is to keep you in fear so you don't rise to your greatest power, so you don't live your dreams like what the light bearer, the light bringer, morning star wanted you to, just like Goddess Lilith. Goddess Lilith, she is the first, okay, wife of Adam before Eve. She was condemned by her father, okay? And she fell, just like Lucifer fell, her wings burned off, okay? Because her husband at the time wanted her to do things that she was not comfortable with. She wasn't comfortable with things he was telling her to do. And she was standing up for herself. She was saying, no, I don't want to do that right now. This is what I want to do. I should be able to have my own voice just as much as a man, and just as much as my husband. I am an equal. I am not going to stand underneath you. She was not, okay, made like Eve. She was not taken out of the rib and made like Eve. When Eve was made, she was like taken out of the rib so she would stand down and be subservient to Adam, and that was Lilith's sister. Lilith was a free spirit. She was a goddess in her own right. She teaches you how to get your self-esteem and your self-worth back. She teaches you how to speak your truth, how to shine your light, how to call your power back to you from what the archons tried to take from you and tried to bury underneath and hide in the dark. You will start getting targeted, okay, if you are on an awakened path, and if you go against the matrix and you start living from your God or your goddess truth, and you start waking up and being very aware. There will be deities coming to you, okay, choosing you, saying, this is what you need to do in your life next. I am here because I'm going to protect you, but I'm going to guide you. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to appear to you so you could come up in your inner power, and you could come up in your light and in your authenticity and in your truth. I'm going to do a throat block removal now with your throat chakra, because what archons like to do is they like to hide behind archon agendas like Scientology, or even Muslim, or, you know, Catholicism, or Christianity, Seventh-day Adventists, evangelicalists. If I'm saying this wrong, okay, whatever. But if you are in this, and you'll see them manipulate their own church members to pay a portion so this could pay the bill for them to rent a building out for their church. This is what an example of archons do. They're manipulative with their tongues, okay? They use that manipulation of talking where they know how to twist lies to the truth, or get you to do something that you're not comfortable doing just to keep up their agenda, and you're feeding into it to where it's dimming your light, it's dimming your truth, it's dimming who you really are, because you're over here going by the book that was written by man, and men can use their tongues to lie. That whole crucifixion story with Jesus Christ was man-made. It was made up. Pushers did that. People who knew how to take things, okay, from lies, build up stories, manipulate others, and turn lies to the truth. They know how to flip things on you. This is a huge part of the Archonic agenda. And for those of you who know what archons are, for those of you who have been awakened and who have been called and chosen, whether you're on a god or a goddess path, whether you are a shaman or a shamaness, whether you're a medicine man, a medicine woman, a healer, a mystic, a chosen one, a black sheep, and you're different and you have gifts and you don't go with the rest of the people. Okay, you don't go with, the archons, in Scientology or in Action Church. Or you don't have to join a lodge like a Freemason or an Elks Lodge and go with the rest of the crew. Or you don't have to join a crooked police force or a police force and become crooked and just, instead of protecting and serving, doing your duty, you start condemning the people who need your help. And you start charging the people who are truth tellers with crimes and throwing them into the system. And this is what the archons do. They're not only in your food and in your water and the retention ponds, in the, water plants, but you can see them as well in government agents. And when you walk past a government plant, whether it's electricity or water, or even just in the city, wherever you are in the whole world, it doesn't matter what city or country you are in, it doesn't matter if you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, there's numbers. This is part of the Archonic agenda. Everything is numbered, whether it's a sewer, whether it's you go over a bridge, it's numbered. Just like when you were born, they want to track you and they give you a government name. They put you in the system and then they give you a social security number, which they can use to track you, to where if you do something, they can put you in the system and go off your government name and that social security number, okay? And then this is how they cage people. Just like archons, when they want you to be in fear and they want you to be and go into the matrix so you could work for the higher ups, the corrupted elite, the, corporate people who are corrupted, who want everyone to serve them, the alphas, whether they're draconians or reptilians, okay, Freemasons, okay, they're in everything. Systematic government, okay, they're in, like I said, guidance counselors, teachers, firefighters, cops. They could be somebody who is retired, who was a Freemason and who was in a bloodline of reptilians. Politics, politicians, huge archonic reptilian agendas there, to where they literally take a regular person. Oh, let's be my lab rat, okay? You need to go and get a job so you condemn your power and not work, for yourself and recognize the truth and recognize the New World Order, the systematic agenda, okay? And you need to go and dim your power and you need to fold for me because you're going to serve the elite, you're going to serve me. This is what they do, okay? Oh, and by the way, they instill Christianity with these archonic hooks from religion, which are really cults, to keep you condemned in fear. That's why they use the crucifixion story about Jesus. Jesus was real. He was a human. He was a mystic. He was a shaman. He was a truth teller, okay? But do you really want me to believe that a human like you or me can go to the beach right now, go to the ocean and walk on water and just fucking walk on water with my flesh, even though I do have my goddess and my shamaness, my medicine woman abilities, and all of my gifts from many lifetimes and all of my gifts? Do you really want me to believe that? Do you really want me to believe that he survived being nailed to a cross when they went through his veins and he lost all that blood for all of that time he was on there? You have to really think about these archonic hooks. They do this to instill fear in humans, to keep you retracted from the truth, to keep you condemned from your own power, to keep you controlled working for them. They don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to see that they're taking aborted baby parts and putting them into the foods, or that, they're taking, children, those abductions that you see. No, there's a place that they go. The New World Order, it's a system. Everything is systematic, okay? The abductions that are, on those crime scene investigation shows, they have underground bunkers. for the elite, okay? They also use different underground bunkers, just like Hitler used concentration camps for homeless women. And what the elite do, and it's going to piss a lot of Archonics off right now, but I don't give a is they impregnate homeless women, women who aren't in their power, right? Or who they think aren't in their power, but they know the truth. And then they use those babies. They hide the women in the underground bunkers or in those camps. Whether they're hidden out by Bohemian Grove in California, Houston, Texas, parts of Texas. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what state you're in. There's always a Freemason lodge and an Archonic agenda. And then when that baby is born, they use that same baby in these elite, systematic, fragmented, okay, disgusting Archonic agendas to where they will submit the baby, okay, to a darker lord or a darker entity in exchange for power, fame, everything connected that's connected to greed and hatred and their higher, controlled system in the New World Order. So where in exchange they'll have that Ferrari or that Lamborghini or that Bentley, okay? And they're able to, have a million girlfriends behind their wife's back and live that double life and hide behind being that political leader that you look up to and that you vote for in office. Okay? So you have to really be aware, okay? And this is just the ancient gods and goddesses allowing me to speak my truth. And I mean, I'm talking about Goddess Bast is here. Goddess Sekhmet is here. Goddess Hathor is here. Sun God Ra is here, okay? And Noxuna Moon. She has a very different pronunciation, but she was a very real goddess. And I can never pronounce her name, but she changed her name. She was actually forced in marriage, okay, to her father, and then when his reign died, it was to someone else in her family. Some say it was her grandfather, and some say it was her brother. And to where she was a lot like Goddess Lilith, and she rose and stood in her power, and she did a ballsy move, and she wrote a letter to the king saying, look, I need you to release your son, the prince coming up, or the emperor, because this is what I need help. And she was crying out for help. So he did. He listened to her. He released his son to where he was traveling on a horse or a camel. And then he just mysteriously disappeared. And then she was targeted and nobody knew what happened. Some lores say that, she passed away, being abducted, being kidnapped, and have all of these horrendous things. But she was she was revered for her truth, her light, her story, just like Lilith was. Okay, spreading her light, her truth, teaching you how to come back into your power, reclaiming your both femininity and your divine masculine, because we all have aspects of both. I am a spiritual teacher. I'm an empress. I'm a shamaness. I've derived from many past lives. I've had many Egyptian past lives. I've had many lives as a princess in France, as well as I reigned in Italy as well. I have many shamaness, medicine woman gifts to where I know about elixirs and tinctures and the old world religion, as well as in Wales, right, in England, as well as I've had past lives in Egypt, to where I helped pharaohs, okay, and goddesses Bast came and helped me. Okay, my soul is of old. And you will see, us goddess incarnates. They're like, how do you look so amazing? How do you look so young? How do you look 27 and you're 41? We were chosen for this. We didn't choose our paths. It chose us. The gods and the goddesses choose us to come and enlighten mortals, to bring our truth and our healing abilities, our shamaness, medicine woman, medicine men gifts, the light, okay, the truth to mankind. Whether you're from the 144 is the star seeds, okay, or you are a bird phoenix incarnate, okay, you could have had past lives as all of these. You could have, been an angelic in the cosmos, been a 777 others realm bird phoenix incarnate, been an angelic incarnate, a god or a goddess incarnate. Hell, my story in this life is much like a real goddess's story. It's just everything that I've had to endure and everything that I'm still living and breathing through. It is my testimony. It is my story. It is my power. It is my truth. And I'm not ashamed of it. It molded me and made me who I am today. So right now we are going to clear that throat chakra. Okay, this is a very powerful video because this is coming from the channeled realms from my Anunnaki star mothers, okay? As well as goddess Inanna and goddess Bast, as well as goddess Sekhmet and goddess Hathor. We are all revered as gods and goddesses that were called and chosen to this path. Some call it the left-hand path. It's not because it is wrong, okay? It is because we were chosen to shine light on darkness of what these archonic agendas try to keep in the dark. Just like that perfect husband and that perfect wife that you see that is in the American dream with their perfect suburban house and their perfect white picket fence, but you don't know that, for instance, Nathan has a really bad alcoholic problem and he hits Sally behind closed doors, but to the rest of the world they appear like they are this perfect family with 3, 4, or 5 children, and he's got 3 girlfriends, 2 side chicks, and he travels and he's not there for his wife, but on the outside he makes it look like they're a perfect little family. This is what archons do, okay? They hide and they go into you and they hook into you manipulatively, whether it's manipulating your thoughts, making it seem like they're the perfect person, making it seem like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian. And the whole time, you know, they're the jinn, or they're just dark energies, or they have ulterior motives, or they spend so much of their time in self-loathing, or so much in their time of attacking or condemning others, trying to tear them down behind, you know, lurking spirits, monitoring spirits, trying to mess your life up, trying to throw ill will wishes, harm, any type of evil eye, okay, any type of, you know, distorting your character in other people's eyes, okay, twisting lies, twisting that truth to, okay, now they see you as the archon sees you, and then it's like, boom, they get in, and then before you know it, everything that's within that archon and the archonic agenda, what they are, is a projection onto your character, whether it's character assassination, stealing personal property belongings, okay, you know, taking and switching your birthright. It's called destiny swapping, or energy harvesting as well, which I've spoken about in my previous videos. And these are all signs as I'm a conduit of spirit, and I will not shut down, I will not fold, I will not silence my voice. I will always speak the truth. So now I'm going to take out any throat chakra blocks that you may have, so you can now come into your power and speak your truth. Whether it's using your voice to tell the truth about an injustice on your life, you need your throat chakra. You need to speak your truth and speak up for your loved ones and protect your offspring. The archons will try. They will try to take everything away from you. They will try to have you in the most compromised position. They will try to have you take everything away from you. I'm talking about, they'll try to take your comfort away, those who love you away. They'll try to twist and contort your character, okay, in other people's eyes about you. They will come for your personal belongings. They will go into your rooms, your refrigerators, eat your sandwich. They will make things go missing. They will gossip about you, slander, lie. They'll even go as far as paying people, you know, to do their dirty work for, you know how. So this is why we're going to cut and clear today. So I'm going to take all of this negativity and adversary out of your throat chakra, and I'm clearing your throat chakra so you can speak your truth, So you're clear and you're powerful to stand up and have that integrity and that dignity and speak on it for the reverence of your life, because you deserve to be revered. You are a god and a goddess. You won't play small for anyone. You won't fold. You won't shut up. You won't be like Eve and how she was to Adam. Where does that really get you in life? Okay, it could get you, fake respect, and it could get you cheated on and walked all over and disrespected, okay? But Liliths, we know how to rise. We know how to take the fire that the Archons throw at us. We know how to walk through that bitch, and then we know how to burn down all of the darkness. And this is why we must stand our truth. And this is exactly what I mean. The Archons, they'll hear it, and they'll try to hook into your throat chakra, which what you just heard. So this is just living proof of seeing, okay, she's getting attacked right now. So now I'm going to be slicing this off. And I love when my live examples come through. I love it when I'm talking about something and like there's proof of like an energy vampire, or there's proof about an Archon that's trying to, and you just saw that as proof. You heard it. My voice has never done that before, and this is, I'm walking living proof that Archons will try. They will try to come against you. They will try to silence your voice. What you just saw, that was a form of what you can call a psychic attack on my physical vessel. So now I'm going to start clearing once again. And I want to use my throat chakra stone. And I want to get more of that Archonic parasite agenda out of your throat, just like I just got it out of mine. They will try really hard to live double lives. And basically what they try to do is they try to hide behind a mask, and they try to sweep all of their darkness onto you. So those are called projections, to where they're feeling like shit inside, or they are just pure non-godlight inside, and they're just trash to the point where they have to literally work behind the scenes and be competitive and be jealous and use their evil eyes and their manipulations from their tongue and archonically try to ruin your life through the eyes of people who love you, or try to take away things that they think that, they'll destroy you with, which they'll be like, okay, so we're going to try to turn her soulmate against her. We're going to try to turn her mother against her. We're going to try to get her own babies away from her. We're going to condemn her out of the house. We're going to intrude, and then we're going to, diminish her and exile her to, and then before you know it, you walk through the fiery trenches, you beat all of that adversary, and then you come back breathing fire, and you come to your truth and you awaken. So we're going to keep pulling all of these Archonic agendas, these lower vibrational energy vampire hooks out of you, these alpha draconians, these reptilians, these shadow people, and all of the darkness out, because they like to hide. And what's inside of them, they project onto your character as character assassination, narcissistic triangulation abuse, okay? Defamation to your name, okay? Trying to do wrongful reputation strategies on you. They try, and I've said this in my previous videos, they will try to make your life and make you seem something that they are inside that you're not. And they will do this by trying to take away all of your comforts, all of your love, all the things they think that when you're stripped of, you're nothing. But if the situation were twisted and reversed, could Nathan live on a stairwell? Could Nathan live in his car for 4.5 months? Or would Nathan be crying to his mommy for help after the first night, getting a hotel room? Exactly. They wouldn't be able to survive and walk through the fiery trenches that they built for you themselves. This is why they do it. Because they feel inadequate about themselves. They know that there's a darkness to them and they don't know how to heal it. So they use lots of self-medicating, lies, corruption, manipulation, greed, and all of these manipulative tactics to try to take you out of your power and out of your goddess or your god birthright and try to shame you. And they'll use all of these levels of abuse. But you cannot allow them to overtake your life. It is your god and your goddess birthright to be able to live the way you truly desire and to live out your truth and your gifts and to have what is divinely yours. And many archons, after they've seen that they've stripped you of everything, and you happen to see one on the street, or you happen to, whatever the encounter is, and then you really feel like you could feel it too, especially if you're a goddess incarnate, and I'm going to use this Shiva's Eye Gate to cut their evil eye projections and their jealousy and their competitiveness away from you. And this is a magnet, this is an EMF orgonite, to the point where it will take out the pollutants, the toxins, the radioactive chemicals, and all of that archonic mess that's just thrown around this universe, whether it's spiritually, ethereally, etherically, whether it's meridian points, chakras, astrally. A lot of them know how to do astral travel. They know how to travel through the realms, especially if they know how to teleport energetically and use that cord to siphon your chi life force energy, which I've talked about in many of my previous videos. You guys know, my followers, okay? But if you happen to see one and have an encounter with one, or even be in the presence of one, which it's very sharp energy, it's like you'll know an archon because the energy won't feel right. It'll be very sharp. Or you'll take on the archon's emotions, whether it's hatred that day, rage, anger, disgust, emptiness, numbness, self-medicating. You'll pick up all these vibrations from them. And then you'll feel, okay, as like if you're around a sociopath and they seem like they have it all together, that's a lot like how Archonic, alpha, reptilian agendas work, to the point where they'll feel satisfied. They'll even be sadistic. They will be happy at all of the torture they've caused and produced through your life. So they will be happy to see you, at the position that they tried to constrict you to. And they'll feel satisfied, and you'll feel this. You'll feel that happiness and that satisfaction from them. I mean, this is why they're energy vampire archons. They don't have souls. Their hearts are black. They're from a bleak realm, a lost souls realm. The gray, middle earth, the middle ground. It's just disgusting energy, okay? So this is exactly why I talk about all of these archons here, because they will try to infiltrate not only through the food and the water and that NWO, but they will try to control your reality in your immediate and direct environment. They will try to constrict you to where you have to bow to them or follow their rules, because they're all about control. And a lot of male archons, let's talk about the male archon archetype here, okay? They will be very much in their alpha male, toxic masculinity. If you don't know if you've seen like Nate Jacobs or whatever, they will be very, very, his character is just, it hits the nail, okay? He'll hide behind, all the shit that he hides from, the trauma from his father, okay? He will project it on to Maddie, who was the love of his life, and then he'll have a Cassie, who's more of kind of like an Eve, go up and do things for him, and he'll even have other relationships, like the relationship with Jules, and I think she was transgender, which ties into his father wound of his father being gay, and things like this. And these archons, why they're like this is because they cannot live from their truth. They cannot vibrate from that level of, okay, I'm going to live my truth and I'm going to be authentic. Instead, they feed off of your vulnerability, which they call weakness, your sensitivity, which they also call weakness, which really is not a weakness, okay? You have your own gifts and your divine birthright, because they don't know how to live authentically. They're used to being archonically into that matrix reality, whether it's in a cult, going along with, religions that were written by man, and men contort the truth, and they demonized the fallen angels. So right now we are going to, excuse me 1 second. We are going to call our power back to us using this beautiful Aqua Aura quartz, okay? And you know you're an Archon, or an energy vampire, or a reptilian, or alpha draconian when you have to make someone else look bad in order to feel good, which is not cool. That is a lower vibrational energy, okay? Never condemn someone else, and don't ever laugh at their struggle, and don't ever try to make them smaller just so you can feel bigger or higher than them, because that is your problem. That is not their problem. So don't project. Archons like to project on people. Whether it's project chemicals in foods and infiltrate the minds. So what happens when you eat that McDonald's food, or that Chipotle food, or that Panda Express food, or that Zaxby's food, or that, Wendy's, or there's another one that I'm looking for. It's a popular chain, not Cane's, but it's something else. And it's like this Filipino fast food chicken. Well, whenever you eat all of these foods, and the Archons put all of this recycled, water from the plants, and I'm talking about like the retention water, the reclaimed water plants. You're ingesting baby parts from aborted babies. You are ingesting body parts from the immigrants, or the abductions from these kidnappings, whether they're grown adults or babies. The New World Order likes to hide, okay? Because they're not living authentically. They're not shining their light. They're going with the agenda. So they're going to be miserable. If you go with the group, instead of focusing on your gifts one day, maybe try to spend time in nature. Try to have your own thoughts and think for yourself. You don't always need to be on the phone with someone trying to plug into their energy. You don't always need to have someone occupy your bed. Maybe it's time to rise up and get to know you for you. Maybe take your life savings, exit the matrix, go on a vacation to Costa Rica or Bali, and really vibe, journal, go within, do shadow work. If you're an alpha draconian and you're healing, that's really good. You're conscious, you're aware. But right now we are going to take out those hooks from your throat chakra, and I want you to affirm with me. And if you have a blue crystal, whether it's a lapis lazuli, or a sodalite, or a aqua aura, or a blue apatite, as well as the one I just had, an iolite, I invite you to hold it in your hand. If not, you could just do it with me. So this is what you say. You affirm this to the universe. I call all of my God, goddess energy and power back to me, siphoned and stolen from me throughout all realms and dimensions, all timelines, all past lives. I cancel, clear, delete, and reject that line of energy that the Archonic agenda, the reptilians, have to me. I cancel, clear, delete the reptilian, energy, vampiric thoughts, obsessions, delusions, and how they hold me in their minds. I reject it And I invite peace, tranquility, and my God, goddess, inner truth, and my light back to me. I call all of my goddess, divine, birthright energy and power back to me. Or if you're a male, I call all of my divine God, power, and energy back to me. That was stolen and siphoned through the realms, across all timelines, across every single past life. I call all of my power that was stolen and siphoned from me. I call all of my energy, my power back to me. I call my divine God, goddess, birthright back to me. My divine goddess birthright is mine, and I own it. I am strong. I am love. I'm the embodiment of truth. I matter. I am important. I will shine my truth. I will be authentic, and so it is. I call all of my energy back to me. I call all my power back to me. And you have to affirm these, okay? You could even do journaling. You could do this in the mirror in front of you, mentally or out loud. It's more powerful if you say it out loud. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to use this and I'm going to do an energy ball, and I'm going to take the energy from this beautiful organite dome, okay, and imbue Sun God Ra's symbol in it, as well as the Ankh for protection. And I'm going to be sweeping it over your aura. And sometimes the gods and the goddesses will come forth like they just did and channeled through me, and they will have a more direct message for you. Other times they'll have messages, but it will be an energy, and it depends on what type of, if I'm, if they have me in my more divine masculine energy or my divine feminine energy. Today I was both my divine fire energy from the fire angelics, okay? So I'm gonna make my own energy ball now. First, I want to cut with these smoky amethysts, and I want you to just allow me to blow these hooks away. And also, I am going to be cutting and slicing with just one. Any Archonic hooks in your third eye chakra, in your crown chakra. I'm going to get up in your soul star chakra. I'm also going to get in your throat chakra. I'm going to get in your meridians now. I'm going to do 13 of your meridians. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And now I'm going to be sweeping your aura. Okay? I'm putting some divine Reiki fire into your aura. And I'm going to be doing an Anunnaki light language channel soon. It's going to be a message, as I am a conduit, not just a shamaness. Yes, I'm a shamaness. Yes, I have medicine woman and healing gifts. Yes, I know how to heal and regenerate my physical vessel. Okay, this house to my spirit or my soul. And yours can too. You just have to stand in your power and your light. You have to shine. Don't step down for anyone. Don't play small for anyone. It's time for you to rise in your power and your truth. It's time for you to stand up and reclaim and call that power back to you. And I know you can do it. It's been in you all along. You just didn't know. You were just lost in the trenches. You were lost in the lower vibrations of the Archonic agenda. You were going through negative connotations from their projections. It was never your energy. So Goddess Mayat is here as well as Goddess Isis. Goddess Persephone's here, Goddess Athena. goddess Aphrodite, even the queens, Cleopatra, okay? Nefertiti, as well as Anaxunamun, who changed her name, and she is very powerful because she stands in her truth and she stands in her divine birthright, and she called her power back to her, which we all deserve to live in our goddess power and energy, especially those of us with pure intentions and who fight against the darkness daily, which you have to fight against the darkness, because if you don't fight against it and stand up for your, and stand in your truth, it could overtake you. It could take you down to the shadow depths with it, and you could go to the dark place and you could be there for years. You could be self-medicating. You could be engaging in behaviors that is not you. But once you know how to walk with your demons and how to live from your shadow self, and you've went to the depths of your darkness and you come out walking through the fire, that's when you know you're a true alchemist and you're a true god or a true goddess, and you know that you've defeated it. When you literally can go to one of your demons and literally joke with them or walk with them and then come back to your light. And not even that, but walk through the trenches of hell that the archons try to put in your life and come out like, I'm breathing fire. That didn't do shit to me. It just made me stronger. I don't know what you're on, but oh, that's right. Could you have lived on a stairwell? Could you have lived in your car for 4.5, 5 to 6 months? Yeah, I didn't think so. So that's why it's just kind of like laugh at them back kind of way, because they aren't strong like you. You're chosen. They wouldn't have known what to do with themselves in that situation. And then for the archons that want to be slick and be like, oh, but I would never be in that situation. Yeah, because you couldn't even handle to be in that situation. You are only given what you can handle. And if you're not a spiritual priestess, if you're not a warrior priestess, and a spiritual person and a chosen one, you won't know until the divine has you walking in your spiritual power. And he will literally have you walking through all the darkness. He'll have you walking through every single adversary sent your way, whether it's an egotistical one, whether it's someone that's going to try to take your husband away from you, or if you can go through that and lose everything, walk through the fire, still breathe, okay, still exist and come back, and they're like, yeah, but if the shoe was on the other foot, do you think they'd be able to walk through the fire? Do you think they'd be able to deal with, everything they threw to you? But see, this is where karma comes in, and this is where, if others plot on you, they're really building their own karmic injustices for the next lives and the rest of this one. You got to look at it like that. I understand you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. There'll be a lot of witches that will throw it back and do what you call reversals, okay? But remember, everything that you cast out, whether it's a thought, a plot, a scheme to ruin someone's character, any type of hex, graveyard curse spell, death spell, what comes around goes around. So you may be, be like, okay, I'm going to get this person back and try to get that, vengefulness out. But you're kind of inviting bad karma into your next lives, as well as the rest of this one, if you want to operate from the lower vibrational vengefulness, okay? And there's lots of vengefulness on planet, okay? And it ties into those lower frequencies of, those lower human emotions. Greed, jealousy, envy, hatred, anger. You're not going to see somebody who's vibing up here, okay, go and want to mess with Nathan's life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see someone who's down here, or who's living a double life, or who's not living in their authentic truth, trying to mess your shit up. You're going to see someone trying to get you out of your emotions to produce a response so they could take your energy and use that for their everyday, whatever they do. Whether it's talking on the phone to Henry, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's biking and doing what is it called? Like when you cycle at the gym with Vanessa. Okay? They're taking your energy, and these people who do this, they don't have their own chi life force energy, so they need to take from you. They don't live life from their authentic truth. They don't have light. They are from darkness. So they need to plug into your light, okay? And they need light for their shadows so they can operate regularly just on the basic ass 3D realm, okay? So where you're up here vibrating high, and they're going to feel it and they're going to see you, okay? And then they're going to do these mindless things to try to throw you off, okay? Whether it's say something or, be like a child. And most of them are like children, and they will literally like act like a fucking child. Like it'll be like a 30-year-old, it'll be like a 10-year-old child in a 30-year-old body. You know what I mean? Like whatever they do on their low vibrational lives. Their basic Betty and their basic, Beatrice lives. This is lower vibrational frequencies. They can't help who they are. They steal your energy. They steal your light because they don't have power. They don't have their own gifts. They don't have their own talents. They don't love themselves. So next time you react, take a step back and be like, they really ain't shit. And they really just need my power, and they need my emotions for their own life force so they can have energy, which shows that they ain't shit. And it doesn't matter what these entities try to do, okay? It doesn't matter what they do to you to try to get you to react, you know what I mean? To try to steal your chi life force energy or try to ruffle those feathers. It's true that what these types of people say and think of you don't mean shit. But you also have to protect yourself. So let's do another affirmation here okay, I am divinely protected. Okay, so I want to invite you to grab one of your crystals if you have one. If you don't, you can just do it with me. And say out loud, I am divinely protected. My energetic boundaries are protected. I cut off and reject any energy, vampire, line of thought, vibration, any type of energy that they're projecting to me. And I call my energy and my power back to me, but I reject the line of energy that they're trying to put into me to siphon or steal my chi life force energy. I reject that line of their obsessions, that line of their delusions, that line of their thoughts or their ill will or their spells, hexes, and jinxes, and I break it and I cancel, clear, and delete that through all realms, timelines, dimensions, past lives, this lives, and all four directions, and so it is. And then I want you to create. I stand in my goddess power and energy. I call what was stolen back to me from people, places, things, circumstances, timelines, shifts, dimensions, past lives, and this life. What is my divine goddess or God birthright is mine. I call it back to me. I now stand in my power. I radiate and shine in my truth, and I speak my light and my truth, and I am the love. I am the medicine. And so it is. And then I want you to affirm, I am so powerful that whoever wrongs me, their lives shall fall apart. I am standing in my divine goddess or God power. I am so powerful that whoever comes for me and wrongs me, their lives shall fall apart. I stand in my goddess divinity, my God divinity, that whoever shall prosper or come against me and prosper against me shall be dealt with. The divine, okay, is going to use their ill will wishes, okay, as punishment for them, whether it's down the line in this life or in their 100 next lives, okay? I call all of my power back to me. What is mine and what is my goddess or my God birthright will come to me. Everything is going to come back now. So mote it be. I call all of my divine power and my goddess divinity and my birthright back to me. I call all of my power back to me. I call all of my divine goddess or God power and energy, what is mine, my birthright, back to me. I cancel, clear, and delete any type of energy drainage. I cancel, clear, and delete and reject any type of energy vampirism over my life. I cancel, clear, and reject any type of energy energy harvesting, any type of energy vampire, shadow spirits, lower vibrations from my timeline. I cancel, clear, and delete and reject this. I call my power back to me. I call my goddess divine birthright back to me. I cancel, clear, and delete and reject any type of energy siphoning that was done over my life, over my astral levels, over my meridians, my chakras, my energetic system, my aura. I cancel, clear, and delete any type of psychic attack casted on my aura, on my person, on my children, and so it is. You have to affirm this and decree it, okay? I reject any type of plots, plans made by the enemies, the energy harvesters. I reject energy harvesting. My aura is fortified. I am protected. I reject their evil eyes. I reject their villain narratives of me. I reject any type of destiny swapping, and I call back my power and reclaim my goddess birthright now, and so it is. So you really have to get into your energy and into your power and call your truth and your power and your light back to you. And don't let others siphon it. Don't let their energies throw you off. Don't even feel it, okay? Don't even act like the motherfuckers exist. And I want to invite you to draw this. It's a very powerful symbol, or get it tatted on you. It's very powerful, okay? The ancient Egyptians used this symbol, okay, and you know what it is. There's also another symbol that I'm going to be coming back in my next session, and you're going to see it. So now that you've declared and you've called your energy back to you, I'm going to push your energy back into you, okay? I'm going to clear any type of lower vibrational projections and kind of tap them away as well. Now I'm going to push your power and your energy back to you. I'm going to push back your chi life force energy back into you now, okay? So I want you to take a deep breath, okay? And I want you to, when I push in, you inhale. And then when I stop and I say release, you exhale, okay? So here we go. We're going to push all of your power back into you. And I'm going to put the Ankh as well as Sun God of Ra's symbol and Horus's eye. Now I'm pushing your energy back into you. Inhale. Okay, exhale, release. And that's probably about a fourth of your energy, okay? I'm gonna push another fourth of it back now, okay? So ready? I'm gonna put Horus's eye as well as the sun, as well as the Ankh. And I'm gonna push your chi life force energy back into you, okay? So now inhale. Okay. Take a few breathers. Okay, now I want you to say, I decree I am the god or the goddess of my life. I call all of my energy and my power back to me. I call my goddess birthright or my god birthright back to me. I call my sovereign power back to me. I call my destiny and my birthright back to me. And nothing and no one and no energy vampire or no lower vibrations, no reptilian, no alpha draconian is going to take this from me. This is my divine birthright. This is my power. I reverse any destiny swapping and I reverse all reversal spells. 3 times 3 times 3, as I will it, so mote it be. Now I want you to suck in. So now that we've retrieved your power and some of your soul fragments back into you, how do you feel? You think you want to do it one more time? Okay, let's do this. Let's go one more time. Ready? Now when I push into you with my chi chakra ball, I want you to inhale. So ready? I'm going to put the Eye of Horus, the Ankh. Inhale. Call all of your power back to you. Call it back, call it back, call it back. Okay. Now that you've had most of your energy called back to you. You will start feeling whole. You will start feeling your thoughts be your own again. You will start separating yourself from the lower archonic agendas. You will start limiting your time with draining individuals. You will start recognizing your power, and you will start putting your creativity and your truth into your endeavors and your projects. So I hope everyone enjoyed the session today. I love you guys. Lots of love and healing to you. And remember, you are the medicine. And all of that love that you look for externally, for external validation, it's in here. And never forget it.